Hello. Welcome to some impossibly good Doctor Who.
The one to watch tonight.
We must feed.
You gonna what?
We must feed.
Yeah, I think they mean us.
Doctor Who, next on BBC One.
Since the resurrection of the Doctor, there was always less news and spoilers toward the end of the season, and in the case of the Impossible Planet, there were none. The only thing we knew was that they'd just finished editing 2 or 3 days before it aired. That's why the Ood voices were wrong in both the preview and the trailer.
We must feed.
You gonna what?
We must feed.
Entering night shift.
I was lucky enough to see it at a friend's birthday, where at 7 p.m. we all fought for space in front of his ridiculously tiny TV to watch it. As the credits rolled, the assembled crowd burst into spontaneous applause. I remember talking to some Doctor Who writers afterwards on the sunny balcony. Yeah, it really should have been shown in winter. And their take on it was even more glowing than mine. Of course, we all knew it had to fall apart in part 2, but it was nice to have just one episode of pure old-fashioned Who before it would inevitably be ripped away from us. As for publicity, there was a clear pattern by this time which lasted well into Matt's era, whereby after the halfway mark of each season, things ramped down for a while before the inevitable finale where it went back into overdrive. During Russell 1, this was always when the fan-pleasing story aired. I suspected the production team were worried that the fans and the public were conflicting interests, so this was the safest place to put the fan favourite. I've always disagreed with that, and if I'd had my way, Impossible Planet would have been around Story 3. As far as I was concerned, anyone watching Doctor Who is smart enough to appreciate proper old-fashioned Who. Anyway, this was the point where publicity annually dropped back into second gear.
Third gear, come on, find it, there it is.
However, that wasn't quite how it panned out. Anytime Doctor Who was airing, the other channels had other ideas, as they were beyond the reach of BBC One's cunning plan. So there's probably even more stuff than normal over this period. Make no mistake, by this time Doctor Who was already a force of nature, and after the tooth and claw football thing, Tennant was well on his way to godhood. And so the other channels, far from trying to play it down, all tried to catch the wave. This might sound like misremembered, sentimental bollocks, but I can assure you it's how it happened. We old school fans still couldn't believe what we were seeing, a recurring theme you'll have noticed, and it was only getting less believable. Doctor Who was probably the biggest serial drama in years, so catch the wave they all did. This first clip is a good example. I'm sure if BBC One had any say over it, this would have been screened many weeks earlier, but nope. BBC 4 had their own agenda. So we open with a well-publicised doco on Verity Lambert, remembering where it all began 43 years earlier.
Now on BBC 4, a tribute to Verity Lambert.
My father, Sidney, was a watchmaker, and my mother, Verity, was...
If you look at Verity Lambert's work, is that the voice is different every time. There's not a great big Verity Lambert stamp on things. You look at the David Rennick stuff, you look at Rock Follies, you look at The Naked Civil Servant, look at Doctor Who. They're very, very different programmes.
She's a genius.
She was the producer on the first series of Doctor Who, and apparently was responsible for the Daleks.
She was a touch of the visionary.
I am one of the stately homos of England.
If she were here today, she would be quite happy for me to say she could be an absolute nightmare.
Verity Lambert began her career as a secretary in commercial television, quickly moving up the ranks to production assistant on the pioneering ITV drama series Armchair Theatre, run by the legendary Canadian producer Sidney Newman.
I phoned up my old production assistant at ABC, Verity Lambert, and I offered her a promotion as would she come over and be a producer.
The children's department didn't want to have anything to do with it, and were rather cross that it was being made by the drama department. And the people in the drama department, on the whole, felt that it was a children's show, and therefore, consequently, was beneath their notice, apart from, of course, Sidney Newman.
And there was this young woman. I said, I don't know what we're doing here. She said, I don't know either, but we're going to make something of it, aren't we?
10 seconds.
Newman's gamble on Verity paid off, and the first episode of Doctor Who caught the public's imagination.
And I phoned Verity up immediately, and I said, what the hell's going on? I said, come on. She said, what? I said, no bug-eyed mouse. And he'd come into my office on Monday morning, and boom, I hung up on her. She didn't back down. She fought me. And of course, it turned out what made this whole series a success.
The Daleks turned Doctor Who into a national sensation. Verity was now one of the rising stars of television drama.
You think of what the BBC was like in 1963. D-mob suits, cigarettes, and men. All men.
Darling, have you got the stopwatch with you?
Yes.
And we'll take a rough timing.
She was not of that background. I mean, she was a Jewish girl who didn't like going to public school, who was a single, an only child who wanted to make it in life, and she was going to make it by her own strength, grit and determination.
But after that, once in fact you start working and you're doing your job and providing it seems to be going right, people accept you, even men.
Yes, I quite agree.
It really, really was a very different world back then. I've checked with Mum how women were treated in the 60s and found it almost impossible to believe. For example, she was laid off at the bank she'd worked at once she got married, because that's just what automatically happened to every woman. She assures me this was not only acceptable, but part of everyday life. Yeah, I can't believe it either. So when you hear anti-woke old men drooling about the good old days, this is exactly what they're referring to. But back to 2006 now. Tom Baker was doing the media rounds to promote the new voice of BT. I'll let the man explain.
Now, our final guest is the actor who for 7 years played the legendary Doctor Who. And he spent 11 days recently, this is what we really want to talk about, recording every sound in the English language. He'll tell us all about that. Please welcome Tom Baker.
Hello. Oh, you don't like kissing? Do you not do straight
I don't do kissing.
It's fine, the handshake is fine.
But thanks, I felt your pulse.
I already feel the presence of not only Tom, but Doctor Who here. Please take a pew, Mr. Who.
But it means now that anyone who uses that texting thing, when they send a message over which I have no control, I don't know what they're going to be saying, they can make me say anything they want. It's true.
Well, we're going to hear some examples of that in a moment. Why do you think they chose your voice? Is it? I mean, it's certainly very distinguished.
Oh, is it distinguished?
It's the fourth most recognisable voice, apparently, behind the Queen, Tony Blair and Mrs Thatcher. That's what
I believe they were all offered the job, but they were busy. But I think I was chosen because of Little Britain, wasn't I?
Yes.
I make the boys laugh. The boys, you see, I'm now employed by the children who watched me when I was Doctor Who. And so now they're in show business.
So those two guys,
when they were children, they sat on my knee,
Somebody could be asking somebody to marry them.
Yeah.
All with your voice. It's quite
extraordinary. They could, yes, and I hope they will, because I think that might liven things up a bit.
Wants to send a message where there's a swear word in it. What do you do then?
They can make them.
They can say anything, because the sounds are there. I didn't say swear words. I didn't say words like Fred.
Oh, God.
For example.
Oh, yeah, sorry, there for a moment. You had very nervous there for a moment. Well, welcome back. We're talking with Tom Baker.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for coming to see us on Today with Dev and Mel.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes. But when you did get that call from Little Britain, how easy was it to say, yeah, I'll go with this, I'll run with this and see what happens with it?
It was very easy.
You had an instinct that it was going to be brilliant.
I had nothing else to do, you know.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I know that's very pathetic. You know, if I'm talking to people or to myself sometimes in sad moments, and the people are laughing. That's what we do. I do religious programs. The other day I was doing a commentary about Buddhists, and the next day I was doing one about nudists. And then I was doing McDonald's Butch hamburgers. So I've remained as shameless as ever, yes. I'd quite like to be in Coronation Street as a kind of inept, say, transvestite. You know, No,
stay with him.
I'm not trying to make you laugh, because you know an awful lot of men, you know, get their wives' tackle on at night. Well, I mean, as far as I know, you can't believe everything you hear. I mean, I've tried to get my own wives on, but it may raise my blood pressure a bit.
I think Little Britain's rubbing off on you.
You can't be...
So he said, Tom, oh, you'd like it in Last of the Summer Wine. I said, would I? He said, yes. I said, why is that? He said, well, every afternoon, he said, we have a little sleep. I said, what? Every afternoon? Yeah, yes, he said, we have a little sleep, and there's no running about, you know? I said, well, that's fantastic. And what about the crew? He said, they have a little sleep as well.
This lot don't sleep. To have voted, I think it was 4th again in a magazine to be the 4th most eccentric star. I mean, yeah, you were behind Bjork, Chris Eubank, and David Icke. Right? And just in front of Ozzy Osbourne and John McCurrick. You were 4th.
That's a bloody disreputable crew. Actually, that whole 5 of them should be locked up. I don't want to be in that gang. I'm so excited to be asked to come on here. No, let me finish. Don't start crying. Because
you've got 30 seconds.
Right. Well, the thing is, you know, I've been to lots of. I've never been invited back twice.
Oh, really? Oh, you
well, come back. We want you to come back.
No, you don't mean it. You
yes,
don't mean
you
it.
Yes, thank you very much.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Tom, because he never changes. It's strangely reassuring. Blue Peter continues its Who obsession now with a visit to Murray Gold and the launch of yet another insane competition.
What's going to happen? I'm going to click my fingers and we're going to hear some music. Guess that tune. Any idea? Yeah, you've got it straight away. It's EastEnders!
Oh.
Next tune. Oh! From one note.
Come on.
That is good knowledge. Have you ever wondered who makes the music? Who makes these TV classic musicals? Music? Well, we sent Connie behind the scenes to meet up with Murray Gold, who's in charge of the Doctor Who music.
To write a song, you don't need to be able to play an instrument. You don't need to be able to read or write music. There was a brilliant bit where Mike Oldfield was on it, who wrote all the music for Tubular Bells, and Simon Groom.
Right, that's all right. So the next stage is presumably the first instrument.
And Mike Oldfield sat there and performed the Blue Peter theme, one instrument after another. First he played the guitar, and then he played the bass, and then he played the boran, which is an Irish percussion instrument, and then he played the tune on a little synthesizer. He played it at half speed and then sped it up, and it was the same man playing every piece. It was a fantastic eye-opener, you know. It's one of those moments where you suddenly go ding, and you think, oh wow, I wonder if I could spend some time doing that. That would be fun. The Doctor Who theme tune is the best TV theme music ever made. Certainly the most experimental.
Yeah.
And the old Doctor Who theme was made by a lady called Delia Derbyshire, 1963.
Wow.
And that didn't have any instruments in it at all. It just had electronic testing equipment. She recorded the noises that it made, and every single note was individually recorded onto tape. So when you go dum-da-dum, 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 each dum was recorded separately, and then it was all sellotaped together.
No, that's so laborious.
Oh, they took months over doing it. I get a couple of these come through the post. Look at them.
Wow, are these copies of Doctor Who that have never been seen before?
Episode 1, version 12, locked. That means they can't change it anymore.
So incidental music can basically change the whole mood of something, can't it? You have the power to do that, is that right?
Well, let's go and have a look, shall we?
OK.
And fast music makes a scene feel action-packed.
Make Mum happy, make music, and clean your shoes at the same time.
Good PR. That old chestnut. I really like it.
Murray Gould is now working with Blue Peter. Yes, he's going to rearrange our Blue Peter theme tune, and he needs your help.
Long story short, if you send a clip of yourself playing a saucepan, they'll whisk you away to boot camp to record the new Blue Peter theme tune. See what I mean by insane? Meanwhile, Totally Doctor Who took us back to the early days of TV.
Watch and learn, darling.
What did he just say?
In the 1950s, there wasn't any Doctor Who. In fact, there was barely any TV at all.
Oh, that's a wig!
In the 1970s, fashion wasn't the only thing to go Technicolor, so did TV.
In 1982, Peter Davidson became...
Hang on, what did she just call him?
Peter Davidson.
And a treasured clip of prehistoric children's television.
Oh, there you are. What are you doing with that enormous...
It's a bit of a different presenting style, really.
After all that jolly fun, it's finally transmission time for the Impossible Planet.
So, all the excitement with the deciding results in the final of Strictly Dance Fever. We'll be back with Graham at 9:10. But right now on BBC One, Doctor Who's on the dinner menu. The story continues next Saturday at 7. We've a taster coming up, so best look away if you don't want to see what happens next. Doctor Who Confidential over on BBC Three now takes you on a tour of the set designs and locations.
And did we tune in next week? What do you reckon?
That thing is playing on very basic fears. That thing inside my head. The paper snapped!
Doctor Who, Saturday at 7 on BBC One.
The thing I found weirdest about this week in Doctor Who was what there wasn't. There wasn't fireworks, there wasn't cheering in the streets, and there weren't drunk people in Tom Baker scarves throwing up on the doorstep later that Saturday night. I live on a busy high street, and believe me, you can tell when England won. But when I got home from Peter's birthday, there were no celebrations beyond the usual hen nights. The people of this country have their priorities all wrong. Just in case you haven't worked it out, Impossible Planet is one of my favourite Doctor Who stories. It's basically the Tom Baker Hinchcliffe era done with a budget, and with a little bit of editing it would have made an incredible movie. One of the things which grabbed me the most was Murray's music, especially Scooty's death. I've always thought you can tell whether the incidental composer likes a story by how good the score is, and clearly Murray was on board with this one. It was up there with City of Death and Ghostlight. As much as I ranted about the Part 1 delusion in my last vid, I'd always loved rewatching Part 1s back in the day before Part 2 came along to ruin it. Much more than any of New Who's previous two-parters, Impossible Planet had that old-fashioned Part 1 feeling, and that meant I could, and did, rewatch it to death that week. Plus it meant I could stop painting and ripping up floors for 45 minutes, as I'd just moved in here. The wider fan perception was about as enthusiastic as mine, but being fans, anything good just made us worry even more. Would Part 2 really be the dud we all half expected? There'd been no sign of it in Part 1, though we knew how these things usually panned out. But not before a pile more Doctor Who clips, because they just kept on coming. First, a tiny clip from, well, they'll tell you.
You're watching CBBC Extra.
Yes, you're watching CBBC Extra.
And you're still watching
Well done, you're still
CBBC
watching.
Extra.
Don't flip over
Don't
now.
go
Stay on
anywhere.
CBBC Extra. There's all sorts of great stuff coming up.
CBBC Extra,
Probably
CBBC
Grange
Extra.
Hill is coming up. Do you still do Grange Hill? Yeah. Grange Hill. I love Grange Hill. Stay tuned for Grange Hill.
Dead Ringers took another stab at Doctor Who this week with a joke about loud incidental music. Oh yes, some ancient deaf Daily Mail readers had whinged about it apparently because they had nothing worse to whine about.
How did you know to do that?
Oh, easy. I looked in the Radio Times. It's so much easier when you know everything that's going to happen in advance.
I don't understand.
I saw the preview clip of you saying I don't understand on Doctor Who Confidential.
That can't be right, Doctor.
See, I watched you saying that bit on Totally Doctor Who. Or was it one of those TARDISodes sent direct to my mobile phone? Anyway, with all these extra shows, I can basically put my feet up and phone the rest of the show in.
Why is that a good thing?
Because it means I can watch the World Cup. I may be a Time Lord, Rhodes, but I'm still a bloke. We're beaten.
But surely, Doctor, if we didn't just stand here and wait for the Cybermen to walk slowly towards us, we could easily escape!
I'm not talking about the Cybermen, Rose. I'm talking about the ridiculously loud music which keeps on getting louder and drowning everything else out.
Sorry, Doctor, I can't hear a word you're saying of this ridiculously loud music!
There's only one thing I can do, Rose. Turn on the subtitles like everyone at home is doing.
That's much better! I can read exactly what you're saying now!
Another TV countdown thing mentioned Doctor Who.
A lot of people in the BBC, because I was very young, kind of looked down on it and thought, oh, what is this piece of rubbish that this woman is producing?
All responses negative.
Anyway, we made it, and of course it was a huge success.
It's a killer format. It was a format that you could go in and pitch in Hollywood now.
Every child that grew up then was kind of hooked into Doctor Who. It was part of the the national consciousness.
Doctor Who is like, that's, you know, like your mother's milk. That's how important that is. Doctor Who is like being breastfed.
It had become a bit of a parody of itself.
Smiles on their faces.
We always said if we were going to bring it back, there was only one person we could hope to get to write it, and that was Russell T Davies, because he's a total nut for Doctor Who.
I think the key word to the new version of Doctor Who is fun.
It's the same format. It's, you know, it's a 900-year-old man and a sexy young girl travelling around space and time in a police box.
There is no format wider than that. You literally cannot run out of stories.
The inspired casting of the highly respected Christopher Eccleston and then David Tennant meant the new Doctor had the definitive stamp of quality.
He's the man with no name. He's Clint Eastwood. And we all like to be fascinated by that.
The format of Doctor Who isn't just an alien who travels in time and space. It's an alien who travels with a human.
The relationship between the Doctor and Rose was, to all intents and purposes, a love story. I mean, obviously they weren't shagging in the TARDIS. That would be weird.
Great villains. A villain of the week, you know, iconic villains. The relaunch tapped into an almost nostalgic view of how we like to think of our Saturday nights. Dads rushed back to the sofas to go on the same journey that they did as a kid, but with their kids. And a whole new generation of viewers came along and became fans.
Nothing in the universe can escape it.
It is a British institution.
Tom Baker was still doing the rounds promoting his voice, but unsurprisingly he had a lot more fun with Richard and Judy.
Of devoted fans. In fact, he was recently voted Britain's favourite ever Doctor. And Tom's here now. It's great to see you again.
Tom. It's great to see you again. It's so nice to see you. Yes.
I mean, that Doctor Who will never fade away. As recently as last year, you were voted, you know, the best, the most iconic, the tops.
Yeah, it was the nicest job I ever had. I was walking along Oxford Street, and a man about 36, 38 or something like that, the generation who would have watched me, because now I'm completely employed by people who watched me when they were children. Yeah. And he said, do you know, he said, when I was a kid, he said, you know, I was in a home in North Wales. He said, nobody wanted us, you know. No one cared about us, no one wanted us. And you made such a difference on Saturday nights.
Oh, wow. Oh. So was the Doctor Who scarf your idea, then?
Well, I think it was my idea partly, and then also the designers. And then it grew and grew and grew like all sorts of things. Yes, but that's in a museum where they're going to put me, of course, because I've left my body to the BBC as well as my soul. And
that was in the contract.
That's right, it was in the contract. So they're going to give me a coat of varnish and put me in the Doctor Who Museum in Blackpool. And that's coming back again. I mean, the K9 and the girl.
Yes, it's coming back into
Elizabeth
the new
Sladen is coming back into the show.
Elizabeth Sladen?
Yes.
I used to fancy her rotten.
Well, you would be staggered because I saw her not many. I dream about her, of course, a lot, but I saw her not long ago, and she has not changed. Yes. People gasp, she's so beautiful. In fact, people all went like that. They went, and they sucked all the oxygen off the stage, and two of the actors fainted. Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, come on, wasn't that? But thank you anyway.
It means that I can text a BT landline, okay, not a mobile, but just your phone at home. Text it, it will receive the text, but when you get home, the message light's flashing, you pick it up, and your voice reads out the text.
Right.
I've got it, haven't I? That's it.
Absolutely. I have the most amazing wife, you know. I mean, obviously, she's not quite perfect, otherwise she wouldn't be with me, so she's a bit odd in that way.
Yes.
But otherwise, she is amazing.
Right. This is the real voice, as recorded for Little Britain.
Like many people in Britain, every other Wednesday I go gay.
So let's now play the computerised version, the text version.
Like many people in Britain, every other Wednesday I go gay.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty good.
I was reading rather nonsensical stuff. Well, you can imagine, you know, they put up all this nonsense, and I was simply brilliant. I mean, when it comes to nonsense, boy, I'm in a very top league. You know? So I might say something quite ordinary, like, Sally has just discovered that her lover has a wooden leg. And as he's 6'3", this makes him rather rigid in bed. She's asked him to remove his leg, but he says it upsets his balance. And she wants to know what to do because she finds that his leg is coming between them.
I love it. Anyway,
Matt Douglas and David Williams nudged me because we were on the radio to begin with, and they nudged me in that direction, you know, because, I mean, some people give me credit for things that it's not fair, because their writing is very careful, and they watch it very carefully, and then they are amused by it. But I owe those boys a lot. They pushed me in that direction.
Yeah. There was a fantastic sketch in Dead Ringers when John Culshaw rang you at home in his persona of you. And it was incredibly funny. It really was.
Tom, I am the doctor.
Oh, that's odd.
Yes.
No, there must be a mistake. I'm the doctor. You're sure you're on Davros? A fellow called Davros calls me up and keeps asking me if I'm dead. I always rather fancied Davros, you know.
Yeah, well, that did me some good as well, you see. You know, directors sometimes say, now this is how I want you to do this scene.
Yeah.
And this always shocks me deeply. I say, what do you mean, this is the way you want me to do this scene? What did you get me for?
With nothing on the telly but repeats of Doctor Who medics and that episode of Blackadder 2 I'm in.
Ah! You have a woman's hand, my lord.
You're living in France now, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, it's amazingly dull. Yeah. And there's an awful lot of trading of back copies of the Daily Mail. It's pitiful, really.
Loaded with anxiety, fans finally sat down to watch part 2. In my case, with power tools and furniture shoved out of the way.
The new paramedic turns heads when he arrives in Casualty at 8:20 tonight. Forces of the Dark now on BBC One. It's the devil's work. The Doctor confronts a beast in the Satan Pit. More on tonight's devilish conclusion of the Satan Pit in Doctor Who Confidential over on BBC Three now.
Lights! I am your salvation. Find me that girl!
You will do anything to get that information.
His name is the Doctor.
Doctor what?
Don't I know you?
Help me!
Doctor Who, Saturday at 7 on BBC One.
Somehow, Part 2 had lived up to the promise of Part 1. I mean, Parting of the Ways had well and truly surpassed Part 1, which was a first, but nothing is worse than that bog-standard Part 1 delusion. Sure, there was some ventilation shaft padding, but the final confrontation with the devil thing was, despite being a CGI-dependent resolution, not a resolution entirely based on CGI, if you see what I mean. Nicking the CGI budget from Fear Her was well and truly justified. And usually when Doctor Who did a more serious story, it ended with a priory burning down, or a funeral, or the companion leaving or dying, or even the Doctor dying. But the Satan Pit had ended in relative triumph. That should have felt out of place or even horribly shallow, but it didn't. I think David Tennant has to take some of the credit for that. I could keep the praise coming all day long, and trust me, in the first draft I did. But now it's almost time for Love and Monsters, aka the Ampersand episode. As Tennant's name appeared in the titles, I remember one friend saying, yeah, he's barely in this one, something the rest of us hadn't known about in advance. But first, Blue Peter had a date with a monster.
From dinosaurs to monsters of another kind. Who here remembers our Design a Monster competition for Doctor Who? Yeah? I think everyone remembers that one. Well, we had thousands of entries, but there could only be one winner. That was William from Essex, and the other day he saw his monster come to life.
The gruesome monsters of Doctor Who start life in a workshop in Hertfordshire. William and I plucked up the courage to step inside.
Forward, 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 stop, and reveal!
Wow, it's the Absorbalof.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this is Rob, who created the Absorbalof from your picture.
It's really a lot better than I imagined it.
That's good.
That's good to hear.
What about the head?
I think the head's amazing.
So, would you like to know what it feels like to be inside part of the Absorbalof suit?
Yes, please.
Yeah, there you go.
How does it feel?
Yeah, I can feel the guts.
Yeah, that's
Absorbalof guts.
Ah.
Well, thank you very much for your design. It's a very good design.
Thank you for making my design.
Our pleasure.
OK, William, word on the street has it that the Absorbalof is in this caravan. Let's go investigate.
Oh, wow!
That is...
Oh, how
come on, Will.
Hello! Who are you?
That is so bizarre.
Look at that!
Look at that, that's your creation.
So cool.
Look at that!
You're looking very green today.
I know, green Peter.
It's really hard to recognise you as well.
Nice to meet you.
This is William. Under all that greenery.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Comedy legend Peter Kay. How are you doing?
How are you?
How long did it take to put all this on then?
6.5 days.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
About 3 3/4 hours. Have you touched that?
Oh, it's actually really nice.
Yeah, so
You're all
so
like squidgy and it's
Yeah,
quite comforting.
There you see.
I think it's going to absorb me.
It's a dream come true for William and a dream come true for me because I'm playing an alien.
Everyone's happy
It's
all
fantastic. You know, in a minute, I'm going to get into my costume.
And then the actors are just on set and I think they're rehearsing, going through their lines for the next scene. So it's really exciting, isn't it?
I know.
219, take 1.
Go and chat, go and chat, go on.
You're the designer?
Yeah.
Congrats, we spoke on the phone.
Uh-huh.
How you doing? Nice to meet you properly.
That's David.
Yeah.
Sorry, Doctor.
Well done for this.
Uh-huh.
Is this what you thought it would look like?
Better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good, isn't it?
Did he always have the hair?
Yeah, he's always had the hair.
This week.
And I see the TARDIS behind us.
Do you want to look at the
They
TARDIS?
are going to... Yes,
Yeah, I'll have
please.
Look at that. Oh, whoa, hang on. You can't do that. There's rules.
I'll show you what's really in here.
They can't. No,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
This is Official Secrets Act.
Don't tell them what you're actually seeing.
Look at that. They've got there's a jacuzzi, and over in the corner there, just past them cows, there's a discotheque.
And the best is yet to come because the Absorbalof will be on Doctor Who this Saturday at 7 p.m.
And if you can't get enough Peter Kay, it's your lucky day. Excuse the copyright measures, this thing is better protected than the crown jewels.
He's in this Saturday night's Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Now, you're a fan of the series, I guess?
Yeah.
The new series?
Actually, this week's episode should actually be renamed Doctor Were, because he's not in it.
But you know what? It's still one of the best episodes. I loved it because recently, and I'll be honest with you,
I haven't seen it.
Well, it's great. I loved it. I watched it with my kids last week. They loved it. It's a weird character, an alien beast of some sort.
It's
Explain
good.
yourself. Who do you play?
I play a man, called the Absorbalof.
The Absorbalof.
I absorb people and then their heads appear on me. It were just cracking. You can't, look, it's Doctor Who, innit?
There must be a moment where you thought, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe
Oh,
I'm here.
it was like an holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, Anna in Cardiff. It was just...
So it was a holiday.
Yeah, no, it's not the end of the world, but I can see it. No, I'm only kidding. It's, no, I like Cardiff. They've done it up, and I went to... They've got all the bay and everything. I saw it last series and I thought it was cracking, and I wrote to Russell T Davies and I just said, I think it's brilliant. And then he wrote back and said, do you want a part in it? And I said, I'd love to. I didn't write him a begging letter like he said on teletext.
No.
Transmission time for Love and Monsters.
Abs wrestles with his conscience in Casualty at 8:20. Right now on BBC One, you can run, but you can't hide. Doctor Who Confidential starts now over on BBC Three. Mark Warren leaves behind that geeky character to read the bedtime story. Weeknights at 6 on CBeebies.
How did it go down? Well, as with most new Doctor Who, I enjoyed it when it aired. Among my mates, reactions varied pretty wildly from liking it to being unimpressed. Me? It's one of those stories which I enjoy when I watch it, but then it just gets filed away. One of my exes pointed out that it was about me, which was true, but I still punished him for it. Of course it went down poorly with the loudest fans, but in a way the story was about them too. So maybe that's why they didn't like it? And that's about it for this time. But before we go, a bonus clip of another home truth.
People are always ready to take the mickey out of fans, and actually it's a pool of people with a shared love of something. No one ever takes the mickey out of football fans. Everyone thinks that's marvellous and macho and brilliant and fantastic. If you're a fan of a television programme, you're considered to be an idiot. And it's not fair, and it's wrong,